Hey, how's it going? Darryl Ng from Western Style Martial Arts. And today I wanted to talk about the 1-inch punch and kind of break it down for you, the fundamentals, so hopefully you can kind of see where the power, the energy comes from. As many of you might recall, you've seen Qigong Bruce Lee make this punch famous. However, it's been around for centuries in our system. It's from Wing Chun, and if you don't know the history of Wing Chun, it was developed by a woman to fend off men. And she wasn't gonna go up to a guy and just try to match him brute strength for brute strength. She was gonna use her finesse, physics, geometry, in order to overcome the power of a man. Otherwise, she could be overpowered easily. So the 1-inch punch is actually predicated on a lot of close-in fighting principles rather than being like in traditional Western style fighting where you're actually out in a distance. You have time to actually crank back and punch versus with Wing Chun, a 1-inch punch has to come in from here. You don't have time to crank and develop power, so it has to come from here instead. So the way that the 1-inch punch actually works, and again, you've seen Qigong Bruce Lee do it from 1 inch and from 6 inches. So again, traditional style, when someone punches, they can use their arm, right? You can still hurt someone, you just punch, and that can hurt. And if you're more advanced and you've seen professional boxers like Floyd Mayweather, I'm sorry, I can't think of anyone else right now, but you watch them, they start to get their body into the punch as well. So rather than just using arm, they can also put their body into it. And I just used about the same amount of power, but you can see that I was able to transfer more energy into hitting the bag by torquing my body. And it's a lot of it's in the hips and a lot of it's in the footwork as well. So now, instead of having to come back to hit, I've got to generate the same amount of power from 1 inch. Basically, when I curl my fingers in to hit, that's 1 inch, okay? And so from here, I've got to be able to generate that power. Now, what happens is, the energy doesn't just go through the bag, it kind of flows through, because there's a certain snap that happens when you're punching this way. The body has a certain snap. And the Russian military has a system called Sistema, and they do what's called ballistic punching, and this is what this is about. There's a snap, and like when a bullet hits, a ballistic, it hits, it goes through, but also there's an energy pattern, a wave going through the body, and that's what happens here. Now, people mistake sometimes a 1-inch punch and they push. They go in and they go, oh, that's my 1-inch punch, but that's a push. There's no energy going through, and a person can absorb a push. It's harder to absorb this energy that hits you, emanates through you, and then blows you back. And that's what happens here. So again, the other thing is, when you're using your arm, structure is very important. And so you tuck in your elbow and everything gets predicated along a center line, the center line of your body, and the punch comes from here, not out here. Because when I'm out here, I'm using arm and there's no momentum, there's no body weight behind this structure, behind this structure versus behind this structure. So the 1-inch punch, as it comes in and I'm tucked in, I got my structure correct, got my footwork correct, my hip is actually going to be driving into the bag, and also my back foot, I'm actually pushing a little bit off of the back foot as well. So that's how the 1-inch punch gets broken down in its mechanical points. And then as you learn to develop your energy, how it flows coming from your chi, your center point, then up and then out through that's when you will have developed more and more mastery of how this punch works, where you're coming in, bang, see, just, and you don't want to pull back and telegraph and then punch. You just want to come in, just come in, don't pull back. So it starts from here, and that's it. So I hope this helps you out. If you have any questions, just write them down below. I'll try to answer them. Any comments you have, that'll be great. And I'll look forward to doing some more, hopefully good instructional videos for you. All right? Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.